Hey, I it happened when I started hanging out with you,
Well, I get in Al's head sometimes too.
I know. I heard all about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I bugged with him because I had a hotel for last night still in Tampa. And he's like, why don't you sleep in my second bed? And then because I was gonna pick him up at the airport, take him here, and then drive back. So we switched it around. So I think by 1 o'clock, we're like, okay, we gotta shut up. We gotta go to sleep. We have a call with Michael at 8. We need to be ready for the
Yeah, Al, you missed all the snow, Al.
yeah,
Oh,
I know.
he can't hear me.
No, he was delayed because of the snow.
Yeah, it was bad. They closed the highway on me last night, so I had to take
They,
alternate routes to get home.
they closed the highway because of the snow yesterday.
They did?
Yeah. He was trying to get on.
Morning.
Morning. How you doing, Matt?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in
Good.
there, building,
Good.
actually building out cabinets that I'll fill in and do this for fill-in work. But
Nice.
how's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Good.
recovered from the snow apocalypse yesterday. That wasn't really that bad. I mean, I had 6 inches when I got up yesterday morning, and then made it to work. And then my boss called and said, "Hey, I'm going to be late. I guess I should have planned for this." I said, "Yeah, I was here at 5:30 because I planned appropriately." So, but yeah,
Yeah, I had a meeting.
We got some feedback.
Oh shoot. I can move. Yeah, I'll move.
Oh shit, that's what it. Yeah, it's from your phone, I guess.
it's Al's fault.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, Peter, that
Yeah.
bottle of whiskey, really, really nice.
Yeah,
Really nice.
good.
Oh,
Because I asked my wife because she doesn't like rye as much. I'm like, it was blended rye. I don't know. Is that good? She said, I don't know.
yeah, usually I'm not a fan of blends, but this one was really good. I'm more of a single barrel kind of guy. And I picked that up from Brew and Beer because we would age some of our bigger beers in whiskey barrels, and it never failed. Every barrel had a different taste to it, even though they were all from the same manufacturer. The barrels came from the same manufacturer. They came from the same distillery, had the same whiskey in it. There was always two or three barrels that were just absolutely head and shoulders above the best. So, but
Well, it's one of
yeah,
those things. It's a natural product, right? So,
yep, it's a living,
but
breathing item.
when that was one of the ryes that they had available where I ordered it, so I'm like, okay. And I know High West is a good brand, at least going to my wife. And
Yep, I like High West. Like I said, I told Al yesterday that's one I would buy again. So,
happy
but
to hear that.
so did y'all see the video yesterday that Rami put out that I posted?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good video. I mean, it's something that we all need to be prepared for, which is why I started this whole thing. Not this thing in particular, but got into the drone side because ultimately it's always been going to be my retirement, which is coming up here real quick. So, but yeah, things happen, so we need to be prepared. And and like I told you, Peter. No, what was it? You, Peter? Yeah, it was you. Um, you know, do all the houses you can do, and then if they bring it in house,
Mhm.
that's fine. Just keep prospecting while you're doing it because you never know when the bottom's going to drop. So,
And I saw your message this morning where it said, you said he's selling the survey school. So meaning he's literally selling the survey school. He's not doing it anymore.
no.
No,
He's
trying to
he's shilling it.
market
He's
for it.
yeah, he's marketing for it. So, and like I said, it's not for everybody, but and it's pricey. But if you're at that point, it's I won't say it'll make a big difference for you when it comes to accuracy and whatnot. Um, yeah, and you'll understand what we do and why we do it a lot better. And that's where I was at. He called me out for being the dumbest guy in the room, and I'm okay with that. And in fact, I did I did an hour interview. He was out of town, so I did it with Val. I did an hour interview, and that was one of the things that I said. And I'm not knocking DLC, but I always felt like I was sometimes the smartest guy in the room. So I needed someplace else where I could go and grow.
Yeah.
It's that whole big fish in a small pond. It's you need to get out of that small pond and learn from other fish.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not quite sure I understand what you were saying because you say, yes, he is selling the survey school.
Well, when I say that, I mean he's
He's
promoting
for
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
promoting,
he's-
God, that way, sorry, I got you now.
Yeah, I guess I should have.
I didn't have enough sleep.
I can go back and reword that, but yeah, that's what I meant. Is promoting it.
Yeah, yeah. So how much is it? Because the thing is, for me, like I like to buy training courses, but I realized I have one of them that I bought on, taking 360 pictures. I still have two courses at drone launch that I have to do. I just finished my OSHA 10. Now Al wants to outperform us and go for his OSHA 30.
Yeah, that's because he hangs out with me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm working on my OSHA 30, resitting my OSHA 30 right now. No, it's
330. Is that what you said?
yeah, the OSHA 30.
You have to research for it. I have my
Well-
OSHA 30, and I was under the impression
No,
that it
so
was
you don't need to redo it, but you need to
Right.
be able to show documentation for it.
I got you.
And when I worked at the
You don't have the doc-
refinery, we would do this thing called turnaround, where we would refit the entire plant. And when we would do those turnarounds, we would all sit the OSHA 30 every time, at
Right.
least once a year. Some years there was two turnarounds, so we would sit it twice. Well, I'm no longer at the refinery, and I didn't think I'd grab the paperwork when I left there, so I don't have any
Right on.
documentation to show that I did it. So I'm resitting it,
Right on.
which is pretty
It's only
boring.
it's all I had to
Mind
do
numbing.
was fill out the test online, and it was like just 30 hours, and it was like you couldn't get anything wrong. It was just like the research inspection, or
Yep.
yeah, the recertification for Part 107. It
Yeah,
was
it's
just like that. You couldn't get anything wrong. So
Well, I must be really dumb because the OSHA 10 took me way more than 10 hours.
well,
And I played at 1.25 speed and it still took me way more.
well, here's the thing. So even with the OSHA 30, we had a bunch of guys last year that went through it here at Francis Pittman, and some of them finished it up a lot quicker. However, they wouldn't let them pass through it until they had enough hours to satisfy the time.
Yep.
So
you have to put 30 hours in, period.
yeah,
Whether you're just sitting there after you've answered all the questions, done the whole workshop, you still have to sit on online and be there for the whole time.
yep.
So you're vested for 30 hours for sure.
Yeah, my thing is that when I tried to do it last year with everybody else, I would come in before work and do it, and I would I would time out because I would fall asleep sitting there watching the screen, and it's like, man. So this
That's
time,
why I felt the voice, at least in the course that I did, it was so monotone because of the computer voice.
yep,
But if I speed it up a little bit, then it was fine. Right? It would keep me awake.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
But then sometimes I would be at the end of the lesson and the timer in the lower bottom would still be like a minute that I would have to wait before I could go to the next one. So
Great. They're calling for heavy snow again, and I got to drive to Rocky Ford today, pull a trailer. Yay. Anyway, yeah, the survey school is 127 a month. So it's a commitment, but if you do the math, and this is how I justify it, and I didn't justify it until recently. If you look at the cost of DJI Terra, which is like $1,500 a year,
yep.
and then if you look at the cost of like GeoDNet 4.1 nav, it's $480 a year or whatever. If you put that together and work it out over a 12-month time, you're paying like $156 per month for that. So those two items alone make the school worth it for me. So, and I really am enjoying DJI Terra. I did have an issue with it where it wouldn't process a map for me, so I threw it into reality capture, and then had the same issues. So I just took the raw images, not the corrected ones, and everything ran fine. So it tells me there was possibly a problem with my corrections, but it happens.
Well, here's the thing, even if it's $130 a month, I was telling Alan last night, I said, you know, my biggest expense at the moment is Pix4D-Matic at $350 a month, because initially I was like, I'm not going to sign up for a year right away.
Right.
So it's kind of like, that's why I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, DJI Terra. I have to look at it. I have to play with it to see
Yep.
how
So
how
you
is
can
it
get
different or
you can get
the
a
same.
trial. You can get a
Yeah.
trial for Terra, and then just run some of your old maps, and then take it from there. There's a few good tutorials out there. Timmy D on drone mapping tools does a real good tutorial on it, as does Rami on YouTube, because he does a 3D model of a Rite Aid. It had shut up shop and moved on, but I guess the realtor wanted the model, so but he flew that and then walked you through how to set all that up in DJI Terra, which was nice. So
is it because Terra kind of makes me sound, I thought it was more for LiDAR and other stuff, but it can do regular
yep,
photogrammetry
it
too?
does photogrammetry. It'll do your contours, it'll do your DSM, your DTM. I'll put all those for you. Yeah, that's a solid software, and it's fast. That's what was nice for me, is like it's quick. What I call it reality capture fast. No, I don't think
No.
it's that fast. And I apologize for the background noise, but
People are working.
yeah, people are working. So if you don't like it, you can jump off the call.
I'm working too.
Yeah.
I'm stacking lumber actually.
But it's one of those things, like if you look at reality capture, like you said, I don't think it's as fast, but because it's a game engine, I feel that if you look at the 2D maps, the 3D maps, the quality is so much higher, right?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why it takes longer.
Well, I know that. Well, so if you look at reality capture versus like Pix4D Mapper,
Mm-hmm.
it's reality capture is faster than Pix4D Mapper. That's great, because that was a big
But
jump.
if you compare it to Matic, Matic is faster than reality.
Right. Well, Matic's also faster than Pix4D Mapper. However, neither one of those, and I'm still working through this on Terra. Neither one of those Matic or Capture give you the granularity that you have on Mapper. So, and the guy that I keep posting his videos from Aerotos, they still use Pix4D Mapper, and he's helping them with the algorithm for that. And one of the things that he mentioned in his video is that Pix4D Matic is almost there. It's not quite there yet to be comparable with Pix4D Mapper, but it is really close to being.
Well, I talked to a guy from Pix4D, because I said, okay, I'm confused. Which one should I get, right? And so he basically explained, like, hey, Mapper was the original code that the founder created. It was spaghetti code. So Matic is the newer version where everything runs a lot faster, but then a marketing component came in, right? This is your basic functionality. If you want anything else, then you buy something else, right? So I recognize it. It's a marketing trick. Or because like, hey, I want to do this. Oh, for that, then you need to add survey. Or I want this. Well, then you need to get Cloud Advanced. And I'm like, but you all had it in Mapper. And I'm like, I know how this works. I know how this works. But
yeah, they want your money.
Hey, we pay them so that they continue to develop for us.
Right. And I'm okay with that to a point.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Mapper is not getting developed any longer. It's pretty much end of life. So,
because I was telling Al, you go to the download page, you cannot find Mapper anymore. They sent me a separate link where I could download Mapper and try that.
because I didn't just download it again. Yeah, that's odd. I apologize for popping in and out, but I'm moving to a different location because the cleaning lady got here late, which is fine because of weather. So I'm just moving to a different area.
You're fine. So we don't have any snow here in Tampa or in the Lakelands. No.
Nope. It's nice and gray outside, which is, I'm sure that'll burn off. We're in Florida.
Well, it's gray and snowing here right now, so. And I don't think it's gonna let up anytime soon.
Is it kind of early or not?
What?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's
No?
late for us.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you guys got so much snow this early already.
Yeah. It's late for us. Normally we're getting snow in October. It doesn't stick around, and this probably won't stick around. I hope it doesn't stick around because I got to fly a job here in Denver on Saturday. Downtown, fun.
No,
Yeah, my favorite. My favorite.
for FP.
Yeah, we're doing more work at St. John's Cathedral. But while I'm there, I'm also going to model the cathedral too, just for portfolio piece.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
yeah, pretty excited
What?
about that.
Let me know if you get a prison pop up.
You get a what?
Prison pop up.
Prison pop up.
I was downtown shooting, and a pop up came on my DJI on my screen. Said, "There's a prison local. You shouldn't be flying here."
Oh, yeah, no, I won't get one of those. I gotta step away from it. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Talk
Matthew,
to
how
me.
you doing? Yep. Matthew,
Me?
how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're Matthew.
Sorry, I'm working at the same time.
That's fine. Where are you here in Florida, or are you up
I'm
still
here,
helping with
yeah.
hurricane?
I'm
Where you
here
at?
in Florida.
DeLand?
Yes, right now I am. I just I got through doing some FPL stuff.
Oh, good.
Right after the storm for a week, made some good money, and then there was a lull for about a week, and then I picked up with an insurance company, Slide Insurance, and they gave me a Skydio drone, Skydio 2, the whole
Wow.
package, and they're supposed to be giving me 100 inspections, roof inspections. So I've been using Eagle View, and yeah, they said there were supposed to be 100 inspections, but I've got maybe 25. But they
That's
keep
good, but
promising that there's something coming. They sent a bunch of people home. They still have to concentrate on getting the ones with the tarps on it done first before they give us a new batch. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go stay out in Fort Pierce for a couple of days because they got a bunch of damage there. So I'll probably just go KOA campground or something cheap. Couple
That's
of
what I would
days and
do.
knock out make some money.
Uh,
They pay $100 a piece, so it's all right.
Hey, it's quick money. I would
Yeah.
definitely follow up with that insurance company, number one.
It's
like
their
every-
drone too. I've already got it.
Cool. Every week I
Yeah.
would follow up with the insurance company. And then I would also, when it's all said and done, said you want me to go back in and document the finished product so you have it for the next one? Or do you need documentation of the current
Proof
house?
Yeah, that way you also have proof of work.
Right.
And that'll just open you up for more work.
Yep.
But yeah,
There's
stay
another
relentless.
one giving me contact too with I was with Airborne Response for FPL right after the storm, and they were supposed to, sent me a background search and everything for Citizens Insurance. They got they're the vendor for them to do the roof inspections, but that's also out on the West Coast as well. But
Gotcha.
I mean, they said they'll put together 4 or 5 for me in a pile and then pay me mileage and stuff too. So I'm waiting on that.
Dude, if you can get in with FPL, that's strong. Like you hit a
I'm done with FPL.
dang.
Yeah, that's done. We only get like a week or so with them, and I made I've made enough money to pay for this drone. That's the whole reason I bought it was for the storms. So it would pay for itself, so I could use it my enterprise for mapping now.
So while we're on the subject of mapping, a guy reached out to me 2 days ago, sent me a website. And I'll see if I'll post it up somewhere in the school. But it's a brilliant idea if you are in an area of the country where they do a lot of hunting. Basically, what he's doing is he's pimping his services to map the hunting properties for these people so that they have a better understanding of the land versus what they see on Google Earth. And I thought that is just freaking brilliant, especially because it's deer season for me right now. And, you know, I've got a lot of guys that are out hunting and I'm going hunting here in about a month. So, but yeah,
I'll go with that. I'll agree with that.
yeah. So, and it all started because he knew somebody that had hunting property and he said, "Hey, would this be of interest to you?" And he said, "Yeah, that would be of great interest to me. And I've got a bunch of buddies that have properties too. So that would be something to look at marketing yourself as too."
I did that small scale with for my buddy just recently. He's got some nice access to nice hunting property, and he wanted to see what was wet and what was dry. So I flew it. I didn't do any mapping, just a long, probably 1 minute video, but it's photographs as well. So he knows where to put his tree stand and where to stay out of, and it was interesting. He used it quite a bit.
Yeah, the only thing that
Yeah,
I would
too bad
say
you
is,
can't.
go ahead, Al.
Too bad you can't use your drone to find kill. That's one thing that's a
No,
bummer.
Well,
Not to
depends on the
hunt,
state.
not
so
to hunt.
much,
If it
right.
It
right,
depends
it
on
does
the
depend on the
state.
state. But in our state, which I think would be a smart thing for us to find something we shot and we have to track it. But they want you to keep it real, if you will, which I do understand is the sport of hunting. But I just hate to kill an animal and let it see go to waste. But then you got the circle of life as well. So that I
Yeah.
understand too. Sorry, Michael, go
Like a
ahead.
friend of
No,
mine
no.
who taught me hunting said it's called hunting, not killing. That's why you don't get all of them.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been 0-2 the last 2 years, so hopefully this year will change. Want some of that nice East Coast venison in my freezer.
There you go. Nice up there in Pet PA too.
Yep.
Yeah, this trip here kind of really starts to align with the rut here in Maryland. So I'm like, oh, as soon as I come home next week, I got to get in the tree. So
So anybody else got anything on the horizon?
I'm going to look at hunting properties and contacting some people. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Especially down at the cabin. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all. I mean, I would just I would just map the whole unit. That would take a month or so and then sell
Yep.
off parcels of it. Well, you want a map? I
Yep.
already got that for you. Yeah, here you go. And I mean, you could print those. I mean, you could print depending on what the printer's got. I mean, the biggest I do is 3x5. So that'd make a nice size map depending on how big the property is.
Yeah, because the first time I went hunting, we looked everything on Google Earth, and then we went and scouted it, and we're like, this is nothing of what we saw. So, yeah, it was. I think that's a great idea.
well, here's the thing: if you upload the maps to something where people can do measurements, you can kind of say, where are you going to sit? Where are I going to sit? How far are we apart from each other? So we
Yeah.
don't shoot each other.
Yeah. And
And
you
that's
wouldn't
another
even,
way of marketing.
and even doing it that way. I mean, you could do that. Hell, you could do that with an Air 2S. It would take a while. But you don't really need the accurate measurements that I need for my job. You could, you'd be good enough with a 1 meter GSD. I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
because you're looking at 10 meters on Google or more. I think, yeah, actually, it's more than that. I think.
I guess the only thing you have to kind of worry about is that if you want that bigger GSD, you're probably, you can fly as high as you can, but you might have to reduce the overlap. And then it's kind of like, okay, does the software still do it right?
Well, I would still fly. I would fly it probably with my M3E. I would probably fly it around 250, and that's going to
Mhm.
give me a 2 to 3 inch GSD, regardless. And that's still more than enough for the software. I wouldn't. I don't think I would change my overlap. I'd still run 80 75.
I can
And
tell you that will give you a 1 inch because I've done that recently
yeah,
at about 250.
okay,
They'll
yeah,
give you an inch.
yeah, because I'm flying at 122, and I'm getting a 1 centimeter, so 2.54. So yeah, 250 sounds about right. So, yeah, and that's still more than adequate for what they're doing. And cut down the numbers of photos, because when we're talking about mapping a hunting property, you're looking at maybe a section. I know some of these guys out here have sections that they hunt. So that's 640 acres, a mile by a mile. That's going to take a minute, but flying it at 250, 350, you're still going to give them much better quality than they're going to get from Google, which I think would be worth the cost of admission for those guys. And then, well, what you could do, you could do this. You could fly the initial flight at 400. And then if there's any areas after you present the rough draft of the map, for an additional charge, you can go back and fly other areas. And then you could overlay those other areas on top of your base map that you created with higher detail.
How do you manage your line of sight?
You would have to fly
A
it in sections.
mile.
You would have to fly it, move with the drone. You would probably only, well, let's talk about line of sight. Who on this call has never not gone beyond visual line of sight?
Sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. I knew there would be a connection issue at that point.
I have learned that I can see my M3E up to about 2,000 feet away from me, because I look at my controller and it shows the distance. And if I keep looking at it, I can see it about 2,000. If I blink or I look a little away, then I can't find it anymore.
Yeah, that's always the problem. I mean, if you've got it line of sight and you're paying attention to it, you can see it out there pretty far. But if you look away, which you need to do because you got to look at your controller scene, and then you look back up and you go, crap, where'd it go? I know it's here somewhere.
Yep.
So
That's
then
me.
you look down at you look down at your controller and it's like, oh, it's over there. And you're looking low in the sky and it's actually closer than you think. And, oh, yeah, it's right there.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
and all of a sudden you hear it and you're like, oh,
yeah.
crap. My situational awareness is not good because I thought it was over there.
Yep.
So one of the things that I would like to see, I would like to get away. So I need to do this because I've gotten a couple questions, Al, and and another guy reached out to me, Mark, I think it was. He couldn't find these calls on the school page. So I think I'm going to put a quick tutorial on where exactly they are so that, I don't keep getting the same questions. But ultimately, what I would like to do when we get more members in here is take some of those funds and pay for Loom. Or is it Loom or Loon or whatever it is? Because I think I'm not saying it's a better platform than Zoom.
But
But I think
Loom,
I
Loom
think
is not for calls.
let me finish, Peter.
Okay.
I'm not going to get rid of Zoom, but the thing that it's a two-step process to do them on Zoom now for you all. Okay. Because I am only posting 30 minutes of these going forward. Anything over than that is only going to be available in the school. But if you are a student, if you're involved in the classroom and you want to watch the Zoom video, you got to copy the password, then click the link, and then input the password when you get there. And I just want to eliminate that. Okay. And I guess I could do private videos on YouTube and then post the video twice. Yeah.
Do whatever is fastest for
I
you.
can tell you how to get around it, Michael. It's simple. Your little, is it an 8 that you have there or whatever it is? Just click me. That's all you need to do, because I didn't know to click that thing because I was lost. I had no idea to click it.
Well, when you move your cursor up there, you get a hand.
Not when you're on the phone, no.
Not on the phone, no. You're correct that, because I noticed that this morning because I started to make that video that I'm saying that I'm going to make, and I kept running into tech issues on my end. So, but I want to make it as simple and as accessible as I can, and I think the password makes it a little less accessible. It's just an added. It's an added step.
Right, but once you told me I needed to click on the monkey or whatever it is, I clicked on it and there you go, it came up. But I didn't know when I was driving because I'm like,